Okay, now we're recording again for the feedback.
Okay. Who would like to start? Kirsten, would you like to share how was your experience about the empathy circle today?
Yeah, what did you like, and maybe what you would wish for?
I really liked the way the conversation unfolded and how everyone kind of built on what the others said, and I felt some sense of deepening in a way. And at the same time, I'm kind of aware of that. The way the structure is, it doesn't really touch on emotional depth, and I'm kind of thinking about how to bring more emotional depth as well.
Great, thank you. Ali, would you like to share how was your experience with the circle, and if you want, I want the biggest thing, like biggest impact it had for you today, and what would you want to have seen more?
Well, it was a very interesting experience. It actually reminded me of a lot of the conversations and debates I've had with close friends over the years, because these are the kinds of topics we do talk about. So it was interesting to see how there was this intimacy I had with complete strangers about these topics, even though we literally just met like an hour and a half ago. I would say the biggest impact for me is it really helped me, expand a bit on my own thoughts about climate change and what actions would need to be done to combat its possible effects that are coming in the short term and long term. And just last thing I'd say is I'd be very curious to see what it would be like, because everybody in my little group was on the same page about climate change. It'd be very interesting to see what it would be like with people who weren't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would have loved to hear other opinion, different than yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ali. Hal, if you can, we had already started sharing some stuff, but if you want to share with the whole group.
Yeah, I'm happy to share that again. Yeah, this was my first empathy group, and I really enjoyed the experience. I felt very comfortable opening up to the people in my group, even though I just met you in a short time, and I felt myself I was able to open in a way that that I rarely do with other people. And I also very much appreciated listening to the people in the group. Yeah, I think we didn't have really wide differences of opinion, but I think in the degree of optimism, we were quite different. And I think that was very interesting to hear different people's perspectives and how they react to the other perspectives. So I enjoyed it very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Hal. Bill?
Well, I also, I've done these, for a while now, and that experience of having intimate, strangers sharing intimate feelings is very, very common. And I think it speaks to the power of the circle and the process. And then if it were then practiced on a wider scale, what changes there might be. Somebody mentioned loneliness, which I believe is probably a psychological disease that we follow. And I suggested, what if you went out the door and you just felt that if you really needed somebody to listen to you, there would be somebody to listen to you? How would you feel about your day? So I'm very appreciative. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Edwin, would you like to share your...
Yeah, I really enjoyed the conversations. Like a lot of insight came up. I have this notion of a culture of empathy, and the different topics that came up. I could just see how it really fit into sort of that vision in a wide spectrum, from motivations to actions to sort of philosophy. So I just found it very kind of supportive and connecting. And sort of hopeful, So yeah, I really enjoyed the insights and hearing everyone. Unfortunately, someone lost power. We lost somebody. They just disappeared. We said, "Oh, my power is going," and he was gone, so he wasn't able to come back. What I would want is kind of more variety of people. Again, people more extreme positions would be good. And I would also like to keep the dialogue going. Would like to keep connected with everyone, maybe on this topic, to see how can we use empathy circles for the social action that people are doing in Canada and in Germany. So I think we can work together to develop some, co-develop the process and a toolkit, and keep the conversation going. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have. I'd love to do more on this topic. Edwin knows I've been bugging him, like, can we do something about climate change? So we're probably gonna have more. And I love your idea, like Edwin, of like maybe having like maybe a place where we can share ideas on that particular action. Because Evan, who also left sooner because he had to leave his place, was very interested to share and get connected and share. He felt inspired by some of the ideas we were talking about, 350, Rising Up, and what is it, Hal? Rebellion?
Yeah, Extinction Rebellion. It's part of Rising Up, or it's from Rising Up, yeah.
Extinction Rebellion. I think it's actually where my friend is actually in the UK, Extinction Rebellion. That's why it rang the bell. And so, yeah, I love your idea, Edwin, of maybe gathering like what everybody's doing and sharing. I'm going to share quickly also for me. It's been a few times now I'm facilitating these circles, so I'm feeling super excited and always learning, hearing people really feel like, wow, like Hallie's in Berlin, Kirsten's in Berlin, like everybody's from everywhere, and seeing that things are happening in such in different places, it makes me feel hopeful, yeah, and happy to hear what other people are doing, and the decision also why they're doing that. It was very interesting to hear Hal's experience, why he chose this group, for example. I tried many groups, and I think it's important to find the right group for you when you are trying to do something about a cause that's really close to you. I'm very appreciative and grateful as well for people really willing to dive deep. And Bill, you mentioned as well the level and the quality of listening that was today in our group. Like, I was like, wow, Hal, for your first time, I'm like super impressed. It was really amazing. Like, reflecting back felt very natural, and I'm really, really grateful. And it does give me a hope, because I do believe empathy circles are one of the great tools to have difficult conversation. And like Ali and Edwin mentioned as well, it would be also interesting to see when people have very different views, how we can find common solution, even maybe with people who really maybe believe in different facts than ours. So it could be interesting in that. Well, thank you, everybody. I don't know if Edwin, you want to add something before we say goodbye. We finished 5 minutes early, so everybody have anything they want to share before they go on with their day or their evening?
Yeah, I would say, join us next week. We have other circles coming up, and we have a facilitators group that we're forming. So we'd love to have you take part in the facilitator training. We're going to have a 4-week training that we're kind of organizing, trying to get a group together, and Jessica's part of that. Yeah, it's a way to keep the connection and the momentum going.
Yeah, and every Saturday we do Empathy Circle, right, Edwin? Like, so every Saturday, same time, there's going to be different topics. It's on the Facebook page, Facebook group. There's events created already, so if you want to join, you can join there, or email Edwin, right? I think
Edwin Rutch at Gmail, but it's empathycircle.com. We'll give you all the steps.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining today, and hope to see you in another Empathy Circle.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for hosting, Jessica.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bye.
Have a good day.